Hey folks, I'm Rob Hurst. I'm a CPA in Douglas, Georgia with Hurst & Hurst CPAs. I have a lot of clients that are small business owners, rental property owners, independent contractors. So naturally this past couple of weeks we've been being bombarded by about all the benefits and questions out there about what's available to help small business owners survive this current economic crisis that's been caused by the Chinese coronavirus. Now, there are several programs available to small businesses, rental property landlords, independent contractors, and even not-for-profits. For this video, I'm going to focus only on the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan. I may call it EIDL for short. Reach out to us if you need any more information on some of these other programs. I'll put some links or contact information in the description under my video. So this SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan is the larger of the programs that are going to be available to small businesses. This program applies to almost every single business and includes not-for-profits, includes rental property owners, and includes independent contractors. So these loans can be anywhere from $25,000 all the way up to $2 million. The big difference on these SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loans is these loans are going directly through Small Business Administration of the federal government and not through your local banks. So we're actually going to go through the process, show you how to do the express streamlined version of this application. This loan process came out last week and actually shut down the entire SBA system for the whole week. So they had these funds available last week, but basically no one could get into the system to do the application. When the system went live again yesterday, it's very much streamlined, very much easier process to get this initial information in, to get it to a loan specialist with SBA. One of the big keys on this new process, though, is there's an option to go ahead and request an immediate $10,000 to be put in your bank account against this loan. Right now, the commentary we're seeing is that this possibly even may be a forgivable grant, not have to be paid back even if you don't get the loan. If you do get the loan, it may be part of your new loan, and it may be a grant. We don't know at this point, but our recommendation right now is for every small business to get in the system and get this thing applied for before they run out of funds. So what I want to do is go through the website with SBA and show you the process and how easy it is. The one thing I want to caution everybody on is be very careful going to the website. A lot of scammers out there, people trying to steal this information. So the actual website is www.sba.gov, and that will take you directly to the SBA website, and then I'll show you the process to get to this loan package. Big screen comes up and you can see the main focus is this coronavirus small business guidance and loan resources. That's where we're going to start. So click on learn more. It should pull up a lot of the resources. If you look under content, the very second one right here, economic injury, disaster loan, and loan advance. This is what we want all the way down to this point. So that takes us into the economic injury disaster loan page, and it gives you some information about the loan here. So go ahead, click here to apply for the economic injury disaster loan. Very easy process, 15, maybe 20 minutes, or maybe even quicker if you have all your information together. The first thing is this eligible entity verification to make sure you're qualified to get this loan. We're going to look at 3 different ones here. Number 1 is applicants a business with no more than 500 employees. This is what most people are going to select. If you're a sole proprietor, independent contractor, someone that doesn't have a big business, then you may be selecting this one right here, which is you're an individual that operates and not as a company, not as an LLC or corporation or S Corp, something like that. These others are co-ops, ESOPs, tribal plings. We're going to skip those. The next one that may apply is your private not-for-profit organization. So if you've been approved by the IRS under 501c3 especially, also includes 501c(d) or 501ce. If you're one of those not-for-profit organizations, you also can apply for these funds. So every not-for-profit needs to be applying for this money, is our opinion. All right, next we have to check off all of these. If you cannot check one of these boxes in this next section, then you're not eligible to get this loan. Most of these, I think everyone's going to be okay on. Number one, you're not engaged in any illegal activity. Check. You don't have 50% ownership of the business, and you're more than 60 days delinquent on child support. If you are delinquent on child support, you cannot get this loan. You can't get the grant, loan, grant, either one. It says the applicant is not an agricultural enterprise, for example, a farm. If that's the case, you can't get this application through. They've got separate, they're planning to have separate things for farms to apply on. All right. Applicant does not present live performances of sexual nature. I assume that's the strip club clause. Most people are going to be okay on that. You don't get more than 1/3 of your revenue from legal gambling, casinos. You're not a lobbyist. Check. And you're not a state, local, or municipal government or a member of Congress. Check. So most people will be able to check all those boxes and be able to go forward in the loan process. Next page starts to ask some basic information on the business. So legal name, I'm going to do my company here. Hurst and Hurst CPAs LLC. You may notice some of these lines on the left-hand side are red. For example, this one, organization type's red. A couple of these down here are red on the side. Those are must fill in blocks. You can't bypass these. So we need got to get a Social Security or a federal ID number. Your organization type, that's a drop down. I'm a limited liability company, LLC, so LLC goes there. Is the applicant a nonprofit? No, I'm not. Am I a franchise, part of a larger group of franchises? No. Being a franchise doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to be approved for the loan, but they are trying to make sure that they're getting this data for some reason. We're not really sure what the significance of that is at this point. All right, gross revenue for the 12 months prior to the date of the disaster, which was January 31st, 2020. So you need to enter your gross revenue for the 12 months from February 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2020. For people that have a good set of books, got an accountant like Hurst & Hurst doing your monthly bookkeeping, this will be an easy number to get from those records. Otherwise, you're going to have to try to recreate this information by hand. So this is another good reason to have a great small business accountant. I'm going to put in $250,000 to pick a number. Cost of goods sold from the same period of time, I'll just put $10,000 in. This is where if you had rental property, you would put your lost rent for the disaster in this number. Also, if you're a not-for-profit down here, they ask for the same information as a not-for-profit. Most of these other items are not going to apply. Give my business address. Go ahead and put your county in. They're trying to track these disaster statistics county by county. The county is not a required input, but I recommend putting that in. Business phone number, business email. All right, date business was established. We've been here a while. Current ownership. I'm just going to make up a number here. All right, for business activity, this is another drop down. Try to pick the one that makes the most sense, matches up to what your business is. I'm going to go business services. Well, I don't see accounting or anything like that in there, so let's go back and look. There's finance. There we are, accounting right there. All right, number of employees as of January 31st, 2020. So that's going to be the number of people that got a paycheck, the pay period closest to that January 31st date or before. We'll just pick 10. Click next. All right, this is where you start entering information on the individuals. The very first line here is your business owned by a business entity? Basically, are you a subsidiary of another company? So if you're owned by an individual like most companies, then that answer is going to be no. And then get the information in on ownership. All right, I'm going to call myself CEO. I own 100%. If you have someone that owns 20% or more of the company, you need to fill out this owner agent information. U.S. citizen, yes. All right, got to have my personal address. Okay. If you have someone else that's part owner in your business, maybe you're 50-50, or someone else has got, owns 20% or more, you would click this Add Additional Owner box here, and then you can enter that information also, and then move on next. All right, so now we get to some additional questions, but we're close to the finish line. In the past year, have you been convicted, has the business owner or the business been convicted of a federal criminal offense? No, have not. Is the applicant debarred or suspended from contracting with the federal government? No. Are you under indictment, arraignment, any other criminal stuff? No. If someone assisted you with the application, whether you pay a fee or not, that person needs to enter their information here. This is basically an authorization for the IRS to speak to these people, or for these people to send information on your behalf. So in our case, that's going to be Hurst & Hurst. SBA is probably tired of seeing my name pop up. We've done so many of these applications and helped people out. I'll put $1 right there. All right, I give permission to the SBA to discuss any portion of this application with this person I've named. Yes. All right, here's the key box right here. This is the new one I was talking about on the $10,000. I would like to be considered for an advance of up to $10,000. There you go. Yes. So we're asking them to go ahead and send us that advance. Get a bank name put in here. All right. And most important one of all, I certify under penalty of perjury that everything in here is true and correct. Hit yes. And once you hit next, that submits this application. So I'm not going to hit next right here because I'm not submitting this application because it's not accurate. But once you click this next button, you'll get a confirmation number from SBA. You need to print that out, save it. What should happen at that point is your application will get assigned to a loan officer within the SBA organization. There will be other underwriting. They'll pull a credit report, we think. We expect them to ask for a personal financial statement, copy of the business financials, all those things that we were having to submit last week. This kind of gets past that part and gets it on somebody's desk, but hopefully hurries up and gets $10,000 sent out in the meantime. So that's kind of how to apply in a nutshell. We strongly recommend everyone do this. Whether you need money right this moment or not, go ahead and get this application in process so by the time it's approved, you'll know whether you need it or not. The government wants you to have this money. They want to get it out to the economy right now. So I'd love for everyone to apply. Would you please take a look at the bottom, leave me a comment if there's something I can do better or different. I'd also like to know if you were successful on getting the $10,000 up front and also getting the loan down the road. And I hope this has been beneficial and useful and will help make this an easy process for everyone to get this application in. And next we're going to start working on the forgivable payroll protection loans, which are going to be a little more detailed. And I'll have contact information in the bottom in the description if anyone wants to reach out on those. So thank you very much for your time. Rob Hurst, Hurst & Hurst CPAs.